Hello, everyone, and welcome to an interesting and very fateful edition of El Supercast. With me today, once again, is Jackey, better known as Debbie from Manos, Hands of Fate. How are you doing, Jackey?
I'm doing great.
So, let's get right down to business. There was some important filming going on in your residence.
Yeah, just 2 weeks ago, Rupert, our director of the sequel, Manos, Search for Valley Lodge, he flew in from Texas, as did our documentary crew. We have a couple guys going to be trailing us, and they're going to do a documentary about the sequel to the worst movie ever made. And they came, and Jay Lee, our director of photography, came from LA. So we had 4 guys here, and we put them up for a week between Rick Zunk, who is, well, he'll be known as the Hand. He's the hand model for our props, and he was the animated live-action hand that you'll see in the film. And he's also one of our cameramen. So he lives here as well. So we put all the guys up, and they were here for a week, and it was amazing. I found a building that a local guy owns and was empty. It was just perfect right downtown, and we created our set inside that building. And once we were all ready, we called my dad, and he came out, and wow, he did his scenes, and it was really amazing. And the robe. He got the original robe. Joe Warren, Hal's son, still has the robe, and he was very generous to let it out of his hands, and he sent it to us certified mail. And my dad opened the box while I was standing there, and so we got to see it for the first time in 44 years. It was cool.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was in great condition. Joe, they did a great job taking care of it.
That's excellent. So what was the look on his face when he finally put it on and stretched his arms in his memorable scene from the original movie?
Well, at first he mostly looked, kind of sheepish and embarrassed because, this is not something he has aspired to. Nobody in this cast that Rupert has found and brought together ever had dreams of being known for this or and nobody understands the celebration of it. I mean, my dad most of all, he just doesn't get it, I mean, he told us the only reason he did this was for me.
That's a very noble sentiment right there.
Yeah, it means a lot. And it means a lot to have been there for those days, hanging out with him, and to see him, he hasn't lost anything, and I haven't seen him on stage in like 40 years, and it was like being transformed back. He was amazing. I mean, the whole crew was just amazed, stunned. He was amazing. I just can't wait for everybody to see him.
So, what was the general feeling throughout the filming? Was everyone kind of holding their breath and taken back over everything that was going on?
No, what a amazing group. I just love these guys so much. Rupert and Jay Lee. Jay Lee has a lot of experience, and he's done he showed us a film that is not released yet, that he just completed, directed, and wow, So he's really good. And for this project, he's perfect. And the way they worked together, it was so professional. Everybody was just so very professional. And the documentary crew, a Lone Star video productions out of Austin, Texas. Eric and Andy, just what amazing guys. They have a documentary that's not released yet that we got to view. We worked all day, and then we were having screenings at night, so we could see their films, and I loved their documentary. I mean, their sense of humor, their way of approaching people. They're perfect. I mean, this whole thing is so symbiotic. It's so amazing how all these talented people have come together, and these incredibly talented people and connected people have this huge, I don't know, they want to be part of this project. I don't know how Rupert did it. I never thought anybody could talk my dad into this. And he's not only talked my dad into doing it, but the line of people he's talked into getting involved is astounding. This is going to be bigger than anybody ever imagines.
One thing that I have noticed about Rupert is that he is very passionate about his vision. And I think people can get that when they have, well, basically since he's extremely long-winded, we spend vast conversations with him.
Tell me about it. Are you kidding?
Yes. Yeah, I know.
He has a lot to say.
He does. And that's... Hey. It's kind of what...
I love it.
It's kind of what motivated everyone else. So I think that's a good thing.
He can talk anybody into anything. It's incredible. It's astounding to behold.
I think that...
I'm happy to go along with it. I trust him. He says he can do it, he'll do it. That guy, he talks a lot, but he follows through.
Now, I saw that a newspaper did an article about the filming.
Yeah, our local paper. That was a lot of fun.
The press dropped by your place while things were going on?
They did, yeah. We talked in advance on timing, and they showed up at a great time. I mean, we were in makeup and getting lighting set up and props, and so there was a lot going on that they could be there and talk to people, and then they also got to be there during a couple scenes. Jolene Guzman, the reporter, hung out for a while and really enjoyed herself. But yeah, she wrote, I just couldn't believe that article. It was amazing. I went to the store that morning knowing there was going to be an article. And I opened the full page. First thought was, oh my God, that's a lot of ink.
Yes.
And
I saw it. I thought it was quite impressive.
It was very impressive. And I mean, I know it's just a small paper in a small town, but for me it was... plus I was just exhausted after this week. I had just taken the last guy to the airport, so I'd been back and forth to the airport like 6 times, plus everything else. So I was emotionally exhausted, and when I saw the article, I just burst into tears. Luckily, I was the only person in the store, so it was okay.
I'm assuming that you have snipped the page out and probably mounted it on a frame?
Actually, I was just thinking today, I bought so many copies and I gave them away.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I showed somebody a copy, they said, "This is for me, right?" And so I honestly don't think I ended up with a copy. So, but my friend Rick, the hand, he scanned it, he saves everything meticulously. That guy has the most complete Manos collection of anybody, I'm sure.
What would you say is the most memorable moment that happened while filming? Let's try not to be too spoilerific here.
Yeah. Oh, well, the most memorable would just be that one moment when, like the second or third day in, my dad he was really giving it his all. I mean, he was really enjoying himself. And Rupert has a very clear vision, and as much as he respects my dad, he had very specific ways he wanted to see things done, and so it's exhausting for everybody. And then my dad just, you could see him, he just summed it up inside himself. He says, okay, I'm tired of this shit, let's get it done. Mm-hmm. Something to that effect. And he just did this scene. I just felt like a little kid again. I felt like I was sitting in the front row watching him on stage at the Festival Theater. It was as though he'd never stepped off stage. And it was, wow, that was very cool. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that. That was very, very cool.
That's fantastic. Now, a lot of people may not know this, but it took a lot for your father to get down there. His wasn't necessarily at 100% at the time.
Yeah, well, you know, he's 75, and yeah, he's had some health issues, and but mentally, I mean, he's just, whatever happens, happens. You know, he's just happy to be here, and I know he enjoyed that time with me, and I'm so grateful to his family for supporting him to be there, you know, because they didn't have to. And if they didn't, you know, he wouldn't have been there. So I'm very grateful that they gave him that opportunity. I think it just meant a lot to all of us. And it's done, you know, so he is in the film, you know.
Yeah, no matter what happens.
You know, his health was an issue. We were worried. You know, all these people were traveling, and what if something happened, you know? But he did it, and he was great.
I think with that, it's a perfect time to put an end to this Supercast. Thank you, Jackey, for your time.
Thank you.
I hope that your father's health improves and that he is able to see the release once it is done.
Well, I think he's looking forward to that. Yeah. I know I am.
Oh, and so am I. I was told that even if I have to stand up against the wall, I will be there on release day.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you.
All right, this has been a very fateful edition of El Supercast. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.